we have a car slowing on the back straightaway. And a tire off the car, bounding down the back straightaway. That's Fritz Eppright. Make that Jeff Hetzler's automobile.
He is completely off the racetrack. There's a cinder track on the infield, and he has piled into the chain link fence on that cinder track. How did he ever get there? Nowhere near the racing surface.
Meanwhile, we're picking up the leader. Alan Johnson has just completed 100 laps, and Alan Johnson will take home $10,000 minimum for his day's efforts. Andy Fusco is in the Alan Johnson pit.
I'm here in the pit lane with Tico Connolly, the other car owner of the number 14A. It's 100 laps down, and you're $10,000 richer.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for. We were going to go for it. Worked out to our advantage. We need a caution now. We got to get fuel.
What is the game plan from here on out, Tico?
We're going to change right side tires, fill it one more time with fuel, and go for it.
But Tico Connolly, Rich LaForce, Alan Johnson team sitting pretty after 100 laps.
Better believe that Alan Johnson will take his crew out to dinner tonight. This is a team sport. The crew is extremely important. Howard Conkey that put the chassis together, no doubt very proud of young Alan Johnson, who today is driving a brilliant race at Syracuse.
We have 9 cars on the lead lap. Alan Johnson leads it. Bob Mccre is second. Then we have the 125 of Doug Hoffman, the 126 of Billy Pouch. 38 is Glenn Fitzcharles, he's in 5th. 6th is the number 30 of Kenny Brightbill. In 7th, the 85 of Jimmy Horton. In 8th, the 35 of Mike Perotti. And in 9th, the 72 of Charlie Rudolph.
Perotti running in 9th position right now is the only driver of the leaders who is running without a radio. All the rest of these competitors can communicate with their crews. They can tell them how the car is running and what they need to do and fix it. And right now, the guys have their hands full. Look at this. Hoffman on the inside, Mccre on the outside, working lap traffic. We've got 3 wide coming off the 4th turn, and Mccre holds the advantage.
Mccre maintains his position of 2nd. We talked about Charlie Rudolph in 9th. He started 40th in this field. And Andy Fusco talked with Charlie before the race.
Winning the 1987 Miller American 300 would be an especially satisfying treat for you, Charlie Rudolph, wouldn't it?
Yes, it'd be kind of like a going away present from dirt, because this will be my last race, and it'd just be nice to win it. I've had a very successful dirt career, and I just like to thank the promoters and the fans and just basically everybody involved in dirt for helping me make it so successful. And I just, time for me to move on, and I hope I do well.
And what are those moving on plans?
Well, I'm going to run 25 shows on the Winston Cup circuit in '87 or in '88, and hopefully run for the Rookie of the Year championship.
Here's an interesting statistic for you. Alan Johnson has completed 80 laps. Kenny Tremont ran out of fuel while in the lead after consuming 84 laps. It is getting close to the time that Alan Johnson will have to stop and put fuel in his car. Recall, Johnson pitted early for fuel earlier than the other competitors against which he is racing. Johnson on the lead, showing lots of tire smoke now as he comes off the 4th corner. The racetrack right now is in remarkably good shape given the weather circumstances that have prevailed here this weekend. We have a caution flag on the speedway. Caution.
Caution flag is out for an incident in turn 4. Car still moving, but we'll try to pick it up for you. Coming out of turn 4.
Let's see what the pit strategy is going to be right now.
It's the number 30 of Kenny Brightbill. Brightbill slowing on the race course. At this point of the race, there are 25 cars on the course. 25 of a starting field of 50. And Brightbill heads into the pits nursing that machine.
He had changed his engine just this morning, hoping for a little bit more speed and horsepower, but back tires spinning. It appears as if it may well be a suspension problem.
We also have smoke billowing out of the car of Steve Barrett in turn 1. Word from the tower is that Barrett has been black flagged.
There's Barrett. He'll have to come in and fix that smoke.
That might not be easy. Meanwhile, we are under yellow once again. 107 laps complete, and will eye the leader, although this has every indication of being a very short yellow.
Several of the crews are ready on pit road, and here comes your leader, Alan Johnson, off the racetrack, heads for his pit. The pit crew ready with the jacks, ready with the tires to service Alan Johnson. Here's your leader in the pit. 1 can of fuel going in, 3 tire change for Alan Johnson. Lug wrenches on the right rear. They're having trouble with the jack.
Andy Fusco is at the scene.
Alan Johnson's crew changing both right side tires, the right front and the right rear, working frantically. They're going to be blocked in here by Glenn Fitzgerald, though, unless something happens very quickly. This is the break they needed, but right now they've got a bit of a problem. They are blocked in, and they want Alan Johnson motioning frantically to try to get Fitzgerald's car out of the way. They go inside of Fitzgerald's car on pit lane, and Alan Johnson drives right over the top of Fitzgerald's jack. Alan Johnson back out of the track with a phenomenal pit stop.
Well, maybe he didn't beat him out of the pits exactly, but he's ahead of him. Let's see how they handle this with scoring. Alan Johnson had been your leader until that pit stop. Boy, they were ready for that. They stood around in the pits waiting for a good 10 or 15 laps. They knew they had to bring him in. They were ready for it, and they did a good job of servicing Alan Johnson.
Now here comes Bob Mccre.
Look at him set that car sideways. He wants to get in there in a big hurry. A whole bunch of competitors now in the pits. We're watching Barefoot Bob Mccre. He is the defending champion of this race. Let's see what he does. 2 tires, 3 tires, fuel only. Look at how he slides that car to a stop. By doing that, he's got the nose of the car already pointed out. He doesn't have to turn the wheel, move anything in order to get away.
Let's go to the action in the pits.
Bob Mccready's number 9J is in the pits, and they're changing both rear tires. Looking at the tire wear on Mccready's car, we see it to be negligible. Although track conditions are rough today, there doesn't appear to be much wearing of tires whatsoever. The right rear tire being changed. Mccready's car has been fueled up. They're going to be pushing it away. This will be Mccready's last pit stop, and he stalled the car. He stalled the car, and his crew is pushing it to a start. Bob Mccre returns to the action.
Wheel flowing around on the racetrack in the 3rd turn. Somebody has lost a wheel. I wonder if somebody messed up one of those pit stops. A wheel in the 3rd turn, rolling around. We'll have some more yellow before they get that thing out of there.
Well, we'll look and see which car has only 3 tires. We see the car just now coming into the pits at the pit entrance. It looks like the 35 of Mike Parati.
Now that'll do it. That is not the fast way around the racetrack to be running with only 3 tires. He's got 4. Mike Parati in the pits right now.
He'll nurse the car in. And then head back out to join the fray.
Something's missing here on the left. Yeah, Parati's the one who lost the wheel.
Andy Fusco has the inside story. Andy, what happened to Parati's car?
Wes Moody, what is the problem with Parati's 35?
We lost a left rear wheel and cut a brake line off. We're trying to fix the line and then get some fluid, get some brakes on it.
Any idea what caused the wheel failure?
No, not really.
There's the report from the Mike Parati number 35.
110 laps complete, and the pace car is back in, and here comes your race leader out of turn 4. Jimmy Horton accepts the green flag as they're back up to racing speed. Jimmy out of Hamilton, New Jersey. And back into the pits, that 126 of Billy Pouch. This is under the green.
This is not the plan. You do not want to be in the pits right now. Horton now entering the third turn. All these cars are going to get lapped if they don't get out on the racetrack in a hurry. If you get lapped, chances of winning are very small. Here comes Pouch. Pouch is not going to get, yes, Pouch is going to get out.
Horton just blew by him in turn 1, and Horton is alone on the race course down the back straightaway. Second place is held by Charlie Rudolph. He's 10 seconds behind your leader, Jimmy Horton.
Rudolph is driving that car that has been sold. That's the one they're going to deliver after the races are all done and over with today, along with all their spares and equipment. We're watching Horton meanwhile. He's run this race 12 times until today. He had only led 31 laps. Fourth had been his best finish ever. That finish occurring in 1976. Horton, 31 years old. Here's Charlie Rudolph right now. Rudolph in second position. Looking forward to a career in Winston Cup racing. His very first Winston Cup start he did on the toughest track on the circuit, Dover, Delaware, where he ran 500 laps.
And we have barefoot Bob Mccre slowing on the course.
It looks like the right rear of that car has dropped down. Mccre in trouble. He had been in contention all day. Mccre now driving down the backstretch. Mccre with a flat right rear tire. You see it there. Mccre has lost the right rear. Now what he has to do is be sure that he does not spin the car out. Tire shredding itself. Caution flag on the racetrack. They're not supposed to pass him right here. Supposed to be no passing under the caution.
Mccre comes around the fourth turn and will head into the pit. And Andy Fusco is there.
And here comes Bob Mccready's number 9. He's got a right rear flat. You can see the tire is actually shredded as he comes into the pits here. Mccready's number 9 slides to a stop. His crew now working frantically to change that right rear tire. You can see that the tire is destroyed. The car goes up on the jacks. The wheels being mounted. The field goes by. And part of the sheet metal, as you can see, is now rubbing against the new tire, and that could be a problem.
They did not fix that sheet metal. There goes Mccre. There's sheet metal hanging all over the right rear area. Let's see if that tire smokes or whether Mccre gets away with it.
He's away in turn 1 now and trying to rejoin the back of the pack, which is currently led by Jimmy Horton.
It looked to me as if the sheet metal actually touched that right rear tire. One of the things the competitors have done in 1987 here at Syracuse, Mccready's going to blow by everybody. He's going to try to get himself in some sort of reasonable position to perhaps get back into the pit area and have service done on that car, further service done on that car. If it is touching, he could feel it. He'll know it's touching. Yep, that's just what's going to happen. Watch this. Mccready's going to dive into the pits. He's probably told his crew on the radio already, guys, you got to get the sheet metal out of the right rear. They have very much enclosed these cars for aerodynamic considerations. That's for speed, but you got to be running at the end of the race.
Andy, what's happening down there?
They've got a sledgehammer, and they're pounding the body panel in so that it doesn't rub against the wheel. Bob Mccre, one of the cars in the field that has enclosed the back wheel so that there isn't effectively a wheel well around the tire. That is an aerodynamic advantage, but right now it's working against him. If that body panel shreds up against the tire, he will be getting recurrent flat tires. What is intended to be an aerodynamic advantage has now turned into a terrible disadvantage for Bob Mccre.
As Mccre leaves the pits, he will be on the lead lap, but as he enters the first turn, the field gets the green flag coming off the fourth turn. Mccre not only is in the back of the pack, they are almost 3/4 of a lap ahead of him. Mccre with a very significant disadvantage on this man. Jimmy Horton, your leader.
Horton barrels down the backstretch. As you see now, barefoot Bob Mccre trying to make up some ground. He's got a long way to go. He's down the front stretch as the leader is into turn 4. Here's Horton extending his lead as he passes by starter Gary Watson.